that's my addiction, and I changed it. Now I'm drinking.
You know what
I can have the American coffee without all that stuff in it. Because I have my espresso in the morning, the Cuban one, and after that I get the other one. So now I'm not doing that. Now I just get, my...
I'm going to summarize this for everybody when you're done here, yeah. No, go ahead. It's awesome, though. I love you sharing this. It's so great.
I have that, and then the other
Sorry to everyone we cut out.
Now I do one sugar, which is horrible, but I'm getting used to it, with a cup of coffee, and I put just 2 scoops of that creamer.
Yeah.
Coffee made.
Really?
That's what I'm doing. Yes.
Okay. So let's go ahead. Everybody who has like that coffee problem where they need like their International Delight, Coffee Mate, their sugar, Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks. She just shared a story that we got cut out and we kind of missed it. But so the whole idea when you're talking about like how do you start? It has to start with one thing. Like what's the thing you do worst? Like you guys just quit smoking. That's a great big step. That's a monster step. For you, coffee, like as soon as we started talking about it and she explained like how much sugar goes into your morning coffee, like you are basically creating a blood sugar spike and a crash by like 8 or 9 a.m. and now your body's constantly in this quest to resatisfy that sugar craving all day long, and you did it to yourself. So you're how many days in now to not doing that?
Since our first meeting.
So last Tuesday.
Yeah.
So 9 days. It's pretty awesome. All right, so what we suggested is, guys, you have a couple different options. So as far as your creamer, always go with half and half. Now, some people will do like a paleo, or if they're doing keto, they'll do heavy whipping cream. But the one thing with half and half is you can put about half the amount of creamer that you do like for an International Delight, and it changes the color of your coffee. Now, there's different things out there. If you still like your flavors, like I posted on there, it's Coffee Mate, right?
Yeah.
Coffee Mate Mocha. They make powdered little creamers, like for people that travel or don't actually use like regular creamer. But 4 teaspoons is 8 grams of sugar?
Yeah, I'm only doing 2.
Yeah, so a full 4 teaspoons, which I mean, you see the big mug I bring every morning, 3 is enough for that whole thing. So like 4 teaspoons is a ton. So you're talking about taking your coffee now from like 40, 50 grams of sugar in the morning to 6. And it's, to me, it tastes better. I like it. I'm used to it now. It's awesome. So yeah, and it's a powder. So I mix like my half and half with that. But even that, like some people don't even need flavors. Like my wife used to do all the foo-foo, frappuccinos, this, that. She gets a plain latte with cream now, and that's it. And it's, to me, I'm not there yet. You know, we talk about a sweet tooth. Like I'm not at that level of strictness. Like I'm down here, and then I'll get up here eventually. But you know, that's it. Like you choose your vices. So instead of eliminating everything out of your life, like you guys started with one thing. Now that taking away that one thing is going to lead to some sort of new habit or addiction, whether it's eating to satisfy that craving or whatever that next thing is. So you have to replace that always with a new good habit, okay? So say nighttime is your vice, like me. Like if instead of eating something sweet, instead of eating chocolate, instead of eating whatever, like we have those Jello Temptations mousse cups, and there's decadent chocolate and triple something, whatever. And now you take that, and even Ready Whip, guys. 2 tablespoons of Ready Whip is, I believe, 2 grams of sugar, 1 gram of fat, or it's 2 grams of fat, 1 gram of sugar, whatever it is. It's not going to throw off your gains, okay? Especially when that Ben & Jerry's is 50 grams of sugar, all right? So that's the one thing you got to think about is, like, if I just change that every single night, and I was going from having, say it was a cookie, say it was a cake, say it was whatever, like if you're eating an extra 100 grams of sugar every single night, and you back that down to 6 every night, like you don't have to change the rest of your diet, all right? But that's where people get it wrong, because they don't have a plan going in, so they just change everything, and then a week later they go right back to their old habits. So change one thing. If you can pick anything out of today, it's change one thing. So, yes, hand was up.
So this morning, I was really bad at running too for like the past year, and I put on 30 pounds. So this morning...
Did you say you gained 30 pounds in the last year?
It was like a year and a half, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is a Dunkin' Donuts every morning. I'm just going to decipher because they can't hear you.
I was 130 and I'm 165 when I weighed on Tuesday. So that's all.
Yeah.
So this morning I had my, it's a protein, but it's like a meal replacement protein.
Yeah.
It's a vanilla protein. And then I wanted to stop it back in this morning and I didn't. So I got to work and I just took straight coffee and I put it in here with my vanilla protein and drank it.
And how was it?
So good.
Yeah.
But she said the purpose of the protein.
Okay, so that was what she said is basically over the last year you said you gained 35 pounds? 30 pounds from Dunkin' Donuts on a regular basis and whatever other stuff. So taking just the coffee and mixing it with the vanilla protein powder, no, not at all. Why would that defeat the purpose?
Said it like breaks down protein.
Wow. There's so many myths about protein. Like if you stop working out, you'll turn to fat. If you like, as protein cannot chemically turn to fat, sugar, like unless you're in ketosis for a long period of time and you've not given your body any fats, any carbs, maybe at that point your body in an attempt to survive is going to convert protein a little. But yeah, like, so no, I mean, as far as that, like I've heard even don't heat up your protein powder. And yes, maybe out of 50 grams, maybe you killed off 5, but it's still better than eating the Ben and Jerry's. Yeah, so it's like you.
Vanilla protein powder and just coffee, no sugar, anything.
Really?
So
2 scoops or 1 scoop or what?
I did 1 scoop.
Yeah, so 1 scoop with your morning coffee.
I did 1 scoop of my coffee.
Killer.
And shook it in here, and it was delicious.
So we have a lot of people that'll actually do the same thing. They'll either do the chocolate protein powder or vanilla protein powder, but actually turn it into iced coffee and blend it up with ice.
Yeah,
so you're taking it straight in. It's amazing. Like, I mean, you can make a little mocha iced coffee. Yeah.
I did my meal replacement. I don't like breakfast, so I did my meal replacement and I got my coffee like all in one.
That's perfect. Yeah, and that's if more people would kind of think along those lines, like what can I take away, what can I make to add this to my system or whatever to make it better, like that's it. Like you're still going to drink coffee, you still have to drink your meal replacement, you just kind of, yeah, you still got your vanilla creamer, it just happened to be from protein powder, but you're basically combining everything all together now and making it a better fit. Now we talked on Tuesday night, like what you were saying, now if you take that same protein shake with, you take that same protein shake with coffee, so you got energy obviously from the caffeine, you got protein which is going to be for helping your muscles, but say you can't eat for another 2, 3, 4 hours, like what else could you do to that to make it last longer? Stumped you, huh?
With the protein.
What could you add to your protein and coffee mix that you made this morning? Say you weren't going to be able to eat for 3 hours. Coconut oil, I love it. What else? Come on.
Flaxseed, chia seed.
Flaxseed, chia seed. That's what we talked about the other day, right? What was the other thing that somebody mentioned?
Oh god.
So if you're going to ice it.
I'm going to throw everything. Asparagus.
No, not asparagus, no spinach. Don't put that in your morning coffee. That brings a whole new mood to a morning movement. Yeah. Now, so exactly. So go, guys, when you leave here, go to Dollar Tree or go to Dollar Tree, go to Walmart, buy an ice cube tray like the old-fashioned ones, and just put Greek yogurt in every single one and freeze it. Every time you make a smoothie, drop that in there. Every time you make something that can use creamer that you would normally use sour cream or extra butter or extra oil, just drop that frozen cube in there. It can be in any recipe that you do, but those frozen Greek yogurt cubes are awesome. Thumbs up and share that. That's a badass tip right there.
Instead of the regular ranch.
Yeah. Oh, Greek yogurt freeze is awesome. Yeah. So when you're talking about this, let's just kind of recap over. So again, protein before every single thing is an option on your menu. So like the night before, and we talked about making your accountability system easier today too for this. But like the night before, take your MyFitnessPal out or take a pad of paper out. Like know what you're doing, at least for your foundation of at least 3 meals of the day. And as long as you've been doing this for a while, you should have a list of snacks in your head or places that you can stop to get something. But know like your nuts and your beef jerky and your different things like are quick on-the-go snacks. But after you make your whole meal plan around your proteins, then figure out where's my energy going to be spent most during the day tomorrow. If it's at, say, 2 o'clock and then your 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock workout, then you want to back-end load your carbs in the day. So like maybe your first serving of carbs is at lunch. And then you have another one mid-afternoon snack, and maybe even on your way in here, you're doing rice cakes with peanut butter, so you have some energy and longevity. But if you do that, like you're going to have energy, and you're not going to crave them at night. But you got to make sure you time it out with you. So when you're looking at your plan, you put your protein in. Now you put your carbs in where it needs to go. Then look at where your gaps are. So at breakfast, you don't have anything along with your protein. How long do you have for that next meal? That's going to decide whether you're putting like vegetables and fats in to help prolong it, or if you're going to have energy expenditures, and that's where you're going to put even something as simple as orange juice or an English muffin or something. But your carbs, they matter what the source is, but really as long as you're eating them when there's energy expenditure, it doesn't necessarily matter so much. It's just going to be how long it lasts in your system. So you want to think about if you're on your way here and you chugged a little bottle of orange juice, it's going to give you energy for this first little bit, but you're going to burn through that liquid sugar so quick compared to if you had like a rice cake or an English muffin or something like that. That's going to be denser, that's going to last longer in your system. So your carb selection really just comes down to how long you need it to last and really what you like. Say for instance like French fries, as long as they're like a healthy and baked and something like that, but like so many people eat sweet potato on a diet. There's a little bit of fiber in it. Yes, there's a little bit more vitamins in it, but like it's not enough to make anything monumental. If you like white potato better, if you like white rice better, if you like quinoa better, if you like French fries that are baked better, eat those, all right? but it all has to fit the right time of day. But so many people, they're like, well, I got to eat quinoa now and brown rice because it's healthier than this. And but they're eating it at night. They're eating it whenever. It doesn't matter always what you're eating. It matters what you're eating at what time. You know, there's no really ever off-limit foods. It's just off-limit times. You know, and that's really where you got to reframe your mind to that. Now, cheat meals, that's a whole different thing, and that's the next 2 steps. But does that make sense, at least for the foundation? Like, dumb it down, guys. Keep it simple. And really, when it comes down to where do I start tomorrow, find your worst thing that you do in the day, whether it's you miss breakfast or you're bad at dinner time or whatever, and figure out how you can make that change. Take a bad habit, figure out what you're going to substitute for it, and make it happen. You know, I get my food delivery from Chris every single week. Chris, you're watching this. He forgot our food this week. So Shelly and I have been scrambling for food every single day. But I am going to be hitting that Chipotle line on the way home. Like, I know what I'm doing. I know what my healthy options are. I know where to go. You know, a Burger King is right across the street. It would be awesome. It's probably a quicker route to get home, but no, it's not the right way. You know, so know what your times and know what your different things are. All right, so fruit between meals or before meals, vegetables after your meals. Next one is cheat to get ahead. And I love this one. Okay, so with this, same thing. You can't have a cigarette again. That's probably the truth of it, okay? You can have chocolate cake again. You can have ice cream again. You can have whatever. There's a difference, guys. So like when you quit alcohol, you don't have it again. When you quit something like that, that you're physically and chemically dependent on, you have to stop it. You are going to eat food every day for the rest of your life. So if you start taking too many things away, like you're going to hate me, hate yourself, hate what you're doing, and go back to old ways. So once a week, you need to kind of have that in your plan of what am I craving, what am I missing, plan it, know what it is, purchase it, make sure your serving sizes are something decent, but eat it. If you're craving Butterfinger Monday through Friday and you're having a hard time staying on your diet because your cravings are so strong, and Saturday, Sunday comes and it's your cheat day and you have pizza and lasagna and this and that, and it comes to Monday and you eat your Butterfinger, guess what you're still freaking craving? Your Butterfinger. Yeah, so Saturday morning, maybe that's your treat. Go get your coffee. But I'll tell you what, you're not going to like it. It's going to taste, yeah.
I'm trying not to go to that. But Saturday, I'll have my beers.
Your what?
Beers.
Beers, yeah, of course. Can you say cheat meals?
Cheat meals?
Yeah, we had a Spanish person before. It sounded like shit meals, and she said, your sheet meals. And I was like, oh, I love that. My sheet meals. So.
Excuse me when I call a person Hushimama, I didn't know what it was.
Oh my God. Okay, that's a new term, yeah. For a lot of people, I'm sure they're like, Hushimama. But yeah, I mean, so like your cheat meal, like make it centered around what you're missing and what you like. Like we have pizza every single week. Like it's either Saturday night or Sunday night, either Joey's Pizza or Slice of Life. I mean, my order doesn't even take 10 seconds to get out. I'm like, chocolate cake, card ending in this, and done. It's ordered. Like we are on speed dial for them. Like they know we're going to order. Like it happens. Like it's a weekly thing. But again, when it comes to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, if I'm craving pizza, I'm going to have it Saturday. I can wait.
So pizza.
Pizza, yes. Okay. Let's talk pizza. Sheet meal.
But when you order a pizza, and there's like 8 slices, and there's only 2 of you, and it's like you have that slice, and then it's just tempting you. Why don't you eat the other 3? Huh? Why don't you eat the other 3? Why are you only eating 1 slice of pizza? I did eat 2. Good. But the thing is, what did you do with the other 2 slices? Well, there was 8 slices, so we had 4 left over. And yeah. Like, oh my God, it's calling my name. It's calling my name. So how do you like? So 2 different things, yeah. So 2 things. 1, eat with more people around. Or throw it away. Actually, 3 things. You just eat it and it's done. Freeze it. You know, again, like cheat meals, 1 sitting. All right. If it lasts over 2-3 meals, that became a cheat destruction. So again, it's going to be a single meal. So if you can eat 4 slices, like I did on Sunday night, I literally had all 4. I had my half a pie. But does it really matter? Because the next day I'm going right back to eating clean. The day before I ate clean. The other 6 days before that I ate clean. Like, yeah. What do you do with the remainder? Throw it away or freeze it. Yeah. Eat it, throw it away or freeze it. Yeah. I mean, you want to make sure. Yeah. I mean, a crackhead isn't laying in a bed of crack all around them, you know? Like, there's no reason to sit there and have your pizza around you. Yeah. Because they'd be.
whatever you do, crack, smoking it or whatever.
Talking about Joey's and it's like,
Yeah. And guys, how many people, like, again, like, how many people, like, just don't eat this stuff when they're dieting? And every person who I've ever met, they're like, oh yeah, I got 3 more weeks left on this diet, or it's a 30-day plan. What the hell are you gonna do afterwards? Like, do we just go back to, because they do something that's so out of the norm. You know, you did the inches and pinches in January, right? It's one of the coolest challenges we do. It's a complete meal plan. It's a grocery shopping list. It's recipes. It's the most elaborate plan we do of the year. And everybody's great on it. And do they even pull that recipe book out in February, March, April, May, or the rest of the year? Never. There's Kim Cummings, and she's probably watching. She's the only one that ever talks about using those recipes. It didn't change just because the month changed or the calendar changed. It's not just because January is here that you do the inches and pinches meal plan. Like, there's 300 people that probably have that meal plan right now, and maybe one person that follows maybe one recipe out of that every week. So it's like we always think like these short term, but really it's, what does it matter? Yeah, like you'll have your beach body in the summer if you have it also in the winter. You know, like you'll have, like, it doesn't have to just come like right now in like 3 months I got to diet hard. You know, it's like you find that maintenance. And for some people though, they can't embrace that maintenance because they think that they need to be a certain level, or they think they need to be a certain weight, or they need to be a certain whatever. But your effort and your intensity is going to match your results. So if you're not as lean as you want, if you're not as this as you want, if your arms aren't, like, you have to do the workouts for that. You have to eat even cleaner. You have to do whatever. But if you're doing this for the rest of your life, like, guys, like, find that balance where you're still losing, say, 3 pounds of body fat a month or 2 pounds of body fat a month. Because again, that's 24 in the year. Nobody's sitting here. You just started. Maybe, did you get your body fat results yet? You might have like 25 pounds of body fat or something like that to lose. And that's about it. You know, so it's like all these people think they need to lose 40, 50, 60 pounds. You don't have that on your body to lose. It's just because you used to weigh that in high school. Well, your hips are bigger, your shoulders are bigger, your lady parts are bigger, like everything. Like, we mature. For guys, our nose and our ears are bigger. Yeah. Head's bigger, yeah. But it is. So it's like we mature. We are not who we were at 16, 17, 18. And we use the scale so much as like its foundation, but really, and guys, like, the mirror should be your impact. Your pants, when you put them on, you're like, oh shit, I had to suck in a little bit. That's your gauge. Like, that's what matters. That's everyday life. Like, nobody knows what you weigh. I don't know what you weigh. I don't know what you weigh. You don't know what I weigh. And it's just, it gets ridiculous to that. So again, find your healthy balance of what do you do already? What's the worst thing you do? How can we change that? And see where the results take you. If you can do that for 21 days, it'll become a habit. And then you look at it again in the next month, and it comes to now June. All right, June, now what is the worst thing I'm doing in my day? You might now take your coffee down to even less, or you might, you know, everybody's going to have something different. And that's why there's no one size fits all. And everybody wants this meal plan handed to them, but it's like, you're not going to follow that past a couple weeks. So why provide a meal plan to you? Like, you're not going to follow it. So find what you do best, find what you do worst, fix those weaknesses, and try and emphasize those strengths. And that's really it. It really makes all the difference in the world. And then when you're ready to step it up, like I am right now, then I know, hey, just cut out dessert, cut out this. I got 8 weeks, I'll be shredded, don't worry. It's going to happen. And because I know how to do it. I've done it every year, and I don't get emotional over it. My weight last year, and I just made this on one of the posts, was that on the support page or on the LiveFit?
Yeah, on the master.
Yeah, so last year I started my contest diet at 192. I dieted for 16 weeks, and I mean, we were talking like not a single carb Monday through Friday. Saturday, Sunday, there was carbs every single meal one of the days, and then there was carbs in one meal on the other day. And I did that for 16 weeks. I did my first contest at 202 or 203. I gained 10 pounds. But I went from having like a belly like I do right now to like lean and rip. The scale doesn't tell you the truth. The scale lies to you, you know? So you can't go by that. If you picture right now your perfect physique, whatever it is, and if I told you the scale when you look down says 250 pounds, would it matter? Who the hell cares?
No, I can tell. And everybody keeps starting to tell me if you're losing weight.
Yeah, and you've gained 2 pounds.
And I gained 2 pounds.
Yeah. And people will tell you, and that's the one thing too, is like, yeah, people will say, oh, you're getting leaner, you're getting leaner. It's like, I've gained 3 pounds. But if you're going any place else that doesn't test your body fat or doesn't educate you on this stuff, then you're like, and then what do? You go eat and you gain 5 pounds and you gain, so it's like you take the thing that's wrong and you make it even worse, where really, again, guys, have your cheat meals, don't regret them, move past, all right? Very last thing is my fire analogy. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but think about this. When you're setting up your meals, when you're thinking about food or what food does, protein is like your log that you buy. Is anybody from up north? that would really help. But so people actually get wood delivered to their house so they can make fire to heat up their homes. So like the wood you buy, think of that as protein. So that's going to be your most efficient, clean burning, long lasting, not a lot of smoke. Everything's going to burn hot and you get your most bang for your buck. Your carbs are going to be like your lighter fluid, your sticks, your papers, your kindling, stuff that's going to create a big hot fire really fast. But how long does it last? It's really quick. Like you couldn't have a fire going all night with just sticks. Like you'd need something like a log. Your fats, think of that as like a wet log. And everybody has this experience. Like you have a bonfire, you spray it all down at the end of the night, you wake up the next morning, and there's something still smoldering and smoking, and you're like, how the hell is that still burning? That's your fats. Your fats are going to stay in your system. They take forever to break down, which is a bad thing on one sense, but it's also a great thing if you use it to your efficiency and your effectiveness. Like if you eat them at night and it doesn't make you eat other food, it did its job, okay? So that smoking log in the afternoon is really what you need to keep that fire smoldering the rest of the day. And then in the morning you wake up, you throw that lighter fluid on there with those carbs and protein, and you heat that fire back up. Okay, does that make sense? I just broke that out in one of the seminars. We wrote it on the board and they're like, oh my God, that's awesome. And I have pictures for those too, but we won't do those pictures tonight. But it is, it's really, once you start thinking about it and you know what protein is, you know what carbs do, you know what fat is, done. And that's it. So when we leave here right now, what's dinner? Did you already eat? What was dinner tonight?
I had a veggie quesadilla.
Veggie quesadilla, I'll take it. Was there protein in it?
There was some beans in it.
Yeah, all right. Beans in it, we'll take it.
I'm not a big...
What's dinner tonight? Was that?
Dinner tonight is going to be leftovers.
Leftover.
Not leftovers. It's the new Southwest chicken salad chili something from Panera. That's
Okay.
what I'm eating
Cool.
tonight.
The one thing to look at anytime you buy any salads that are out, the dressing. The dressing is your killer.
I put lemon and salt, that's it.
Beautiful, cool. Yeah, like the Wendy's actual, like, and everybody says the Wendy's salad's more unhealthy than the Big Mac. No, it's not true, but the dressing packet that you get, like that ranch packet, has more fat than a Big Mac.
Yeah.
Crazy to think that, but you're eating this great salad, and yeah. What's dinner tonight, Margaret?
I had pork chop and some kale.
Pork chop and kale, I like that. What are you going to eat when you get home? Are you going to be hungry or no? Oh, that's right, yeah. You had free samples. There you go. Yeah.
I'm good, yeah.
And that's really, and I will say the other thing too is like everybody says it's expensive to eat healthy, but it's really not. It might be expensive for that meal, but then you don't eat all those other meals in between. Like I had a protein shake and a bar over the last 6 hours, I guess. One was at 2:30 and my shake was at 5:15, and like I eat a lot and I'm still held over, you know? So, and I did have samples too. So, but it is, and they were all healthy. There was no carbs, it was all protein. Again, so it's not necessarily it's the expensive to eat healthy. Maybe yes to buy the initial groceries, but then you're not buying all the filler stuff and the gas station food and, you know, and I don't mean gas station food, I mean like snacks.
And you're portioning it out. Once you
And you're portioning it out, yeah.
Saturday to Sunday, you just, you know, line up the you know, plasticware or whatever.
Yeah.
And just start loading it up.
Have you been doing that?
I've been.
So she's saying it's like meal prep, like cooking everything on Sunday, laying out your Tupperware and filling them up.
It works out.
And-
because that pizza day, it's like, I felt really bad, but then it's like Monday, boom, I knew what to eat, boom, I'm done.
So when we were talking about our one thing, like say lunch is where you go wrong every single day, Sunday start packing just your lunch for the entire week. Or every night when you cook dinner, cook an extra portion, that becomes your lunch now the next day. Like don't overcomplicate things. Like Chipotle tonight, I will be getting extra meat on everything that I get because now half of it is going to be a meal. So like the whole bowl is 50 carbs, I'm going to have half of it, 25 will be here, 25 will be here. But I'm still going to get, I think the whole bowl is 80 grams of protein or something. It's a great meal. Yeah. And I've been going since, yeah, pretty darn early. It's going to fuel me. It's going to be okay. So I think my first post this morning was 4:04 a.m. or something like that. But it's, like guys, it's food. You're going to eat it again tomorrow and you're going to eat it again the next day. Learn what it does and it'll treat you right. But it's...
We're telling me that. They say you're like on a diet and you're eating more now. And I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Because before I was going all morning without eating, and then lunch I would order whatever Spanish food would be around and just eat the whole thing because I was hungry.
Yeah. And again, like people talk, oh, beans and rice is unhealthy, and then I hear other people, beans and rice is healthy, and it's like, it's not. It's healthy at the right time. It's not healthy at the yeah. Again, like your rice and beans is a great meal, midday lunch. Like those beans are going to keep that rice active in your system for a long, long time. As long as you throw protein in there, your muscles are supported, your energy is supported, and your metabolism is supported. Like you've done it all.
Someone told me once that if you eat beans, you don't need to eat meat.
Yeah, so here's the one thing, like the question was if you eat beans, you don't need to eat meat. So normally, like the other seminar we do, I alternate them every month. So the other one is about like protein basics and stuff like that. So anything that flew, walked, or swam is what we consider a protein. So like that could also be eggs and Greek yogurt because it came from a chicken and a cow. But the circle of life, like all the amino acids they had to sustain and keep their body living, is what this is going to provide to you. A bean never walked, a bean never thought, a bean never had a metabolism, you know. So, well, actually, I really do think actually a bean does have a metabolism. I think that's the whole whatever. But it's not living like how we live. It doesn't breathe, it doesn't have blood pumping and stuff like that. So that's where you want to look at in a sense of what can I get the benefit of that? You know, and so that's where, yes, so beans, yes, they do have protein, but they also have way more carbs and other stuff in it too. So now, I always consider vegetables and beans as free food, okay? So at dinner time, if you want to have like the same thing, your Southwest whatever, and you have more beans with it, and even if you put like say refried beans, check your label, make sure there's not extra stuff added into it. Those are great options. Cool. Yeah, one of the other recipes a lot of our people like is you actually take hummus, cover your entire chicken, and bake it. Same way you normally bake it, but make hummus chicken. Like Kirsten made a video on it, but I mean, guys, it takes the same 30 minutes, except now you added some longevity because you're adding fiber and fat to it that are healthy sources, natural protein. It tastes freaking awesome, you know? Like the Greek yogurt chicken. Put your chicken in Greek yogurt, you can either coat it in like Parmesan flakes, like shredded Parmesan, garlic, any type of topping like that, and bake it. You put a tomato on top for the last couple of minutes, it'll soak in, it's awesome. Like, there's so many cool things you can do. Somebody too is saying that they're having a hard time with carbs at night and salty cravings. So we came up with like a fried rice recipe. They're just doing a 1/4 cup of jasmine rice. Very, very simple to do. Crack 2 eggs in with the pan. It's all heating up on the stove. Cut up whatever chicken you have in the house. Just keep stirring it, add a little salt and pepper, add some soy sauce, and you're done. And you have fried rice. There's only 12 carbs in it because you only put a 1/4 cup of carbs. You made it. You didn't go buy it at whatever. Hunan Palace. Yeah, whatever.
I like the idea of the muffins.
Yeah.
The flares that you were talking about.
All right. Yeah. So that was the other thing we talked about is like taking a muffin pan and actually making up a pre-made batch of like you can mix up eggs and peppers and mushrooms, whatever you want in it, and a little shredded cheese, but you pour it into each individual muffin tin. If you're adding in like heavier stuff like peppers and things, you want to pour your batter, your eggs in first and then add it individually, or else all your ingredients are going to be in the very last one because it'll be sitting on the bottom. But you can add a couple drops of cheese. You can add whatever you're going to do activity-wise is what you can add with it. So, and it's the same with like doing the protein balls. You know, you take peanut butter, protein powder, mix it up. It's going to make like a gritty consistency. But you either add liquid egg whites or a little bit of Greek yogurt or even just a little water, almond milk, and you mix it until it makes a paste. That right there, you make individual little servings inside of a muffin tin, freeze it for like 10 minutes, and then you can pop them out and put them in individual bags. But you have protein balls that are going to have protein and healthy fats perfectly made. If you're going to use them for breakfast on the run with like your new coffee combination, you throw oatmeal in with it. You know, so there's all sorts of things you can always add, like craisins or raisins you can put too if you want a quicker energy. But you know, you can make all your own protein balls and energy bars and all that stuff, but like you know what's going into them that way too. So yeah, the muffin tin thing with doing the egg white souffle things, those are killer. And you can do them with regular eggs too. It can have yolks in it. Again, like if you're talking proteins and fats, there's a good time to have proteins and fats. So you don't have to neglect the yolk. The yolk actually has more protein than the egg white does. So. Anything else, guys? It was an hour. No, it wasn't. It was 40 minutes.
Oh, that was awesome.
Anything else? It was awesome. I love hearing that. Thank you. Oh, I love it. I'm going to sit down for this one. The question is about artificial sweeteners. I say pick your own poison. So diabetes to me, especially working at my dad's office, so like we had the chiropractic office, he's been there for 34, 35 years. I worked there for 7 years and Shelly worked there for 3. But that's how this all started. Every patient has high blood pressure and diabetes. And it's like those are the main 2 things you're dealing with. They're the most unhealthy people. Did we drop again?
Your battery.
Battery? Oh yeah, it died last time too. You guys are gonna miss the good stuff. That's why you show up live. But so yeah, I mean with that, it's like every single patient had the same stuff. It was blood pressure issues, it was diabetes, it was cholesterol. It was the same stuff over and over. So we started SlimFit before there was LiveFit, and it was a healthy eating plan. We had 7 tools, and that was it, 7 ground rules, and it was basically those right there. I just condensed the fruit in this one and made that one into kind of 2 parts. But that's really what it is. Like it's the same stuff I've been talking for 9 years ago. The biggest thing with that is diabetes is the worst disease you can ever get. I want to take that back. Dementia, Alzheimer's, there's a lot of bad diseases. But diabetes, you live with it every single day, and it affects so many things in your body, your energy, your circulation, your blood flow. Like there's a million things that diabetes affects. So when they talk about that aspartame stays in your system for 7 to 10 days after you last eat it, or to me, I would rather let my fully healthy functioning body try and process out a little bit of aspartame and not have diabetes. That's my personal preference. Now, if I can avoid aspartame, yeah, I'll go to Splenda. If I can avoid Splenda and do stevia or whatever, sure, but like I am not going to beat myself up over having a little bit of Splenda or a little xylitol in a gum or whatever, all right? Now, the biggest side effects you're going to get from is normally gastric distress, which is like foul-smelling gas or stomach cramping. If you've had that, you're having too much, okay? But in almost all the studies too, and that's the other thing too, is almost all studies on aspartame are done on rats. So I mean, our livers compared to their livers is one thing. But studies show, and this is over and over again, once it's out of your system, like you eliminate aspartame today, in 10 days, normally there's no trace left. That's pretty awesome, pretty efficient. Diabetes is still with you, 7 to 10 years later, yeah.
I use a lot of sweet and low.
Yeah, sweet and low is a rough one.
I'm really used to it. But
Yeah.
You talk about Greek yogurt. One of my meals in the morning is Greek yogurt with a half a sweet and low and fruit in it.
Yeah.
It just gives it a good, you know.
She's saying Greek yogurt, sweet and low, and little fruit. Yeah.
Right.
And again, you know, stevia is a little bit bitter, but you might find that that works.
Just old school.
Creature habit. And Lucia, how old are you? Can I ask?
I'll be 63 and
63. You feel good?
I feel
You're
good.
healthy. How long have you been using sweet and low for?